MJ, and it's the last week in January. I feel like I've been waiting for January to be over for weeks now. I don't know why. It's just been like a weird month. Lots of stuff's been going on. Lots of stuff hasn't been going right. I'm still surrounded by boxes. And if you've ever moved, you kind of know like the melee that is a couple of weeks before you move. And I am in that crunch time now where I'm moving in mid-February, so I'm really kind of at the last moment trying to get everything put together and get everything done, and it's just not happening, plus all the videos I have to make. So today I am doing a DIY. I've already done it, like, to be honest, I did it yesterday and I did it this morning. It's Tuesday. If you guys didn't notice it was Tuesday, I'm sorry. Yesterday, it's like, you know, I had the best intentions to get all my work done, and then everything else in my life happened, so I didn't. So I'm uploading today. It's a day late. Sorry. My bad. But I made some cute little heart pillows. They turned out a lot differently than I wanted them to, and you're going to see how I did it in just a second, and I will see you guys in the outro.
So my original idea was to make those conversation hearts that you see in the grocery stores about this time of year. I found about halfway through that was a little bit more ambitious than I was able to do today, so I just did this instead. What you're going to need to make these is scissors, felt of your choice. I chose pink and blue because they were very pastel, kind of Valentine's Day colors, iron-on letters, a Sharpie, and a template of some sort. I decided to draw my template out. If you were to make something like this, make the angles a lot less pronounced. So instead of making large loops at the top, make a lot softer loops, and don't make the point at the bottom as sharp. I had to cut part of the bottom of mine off so it would look right, but it still looked a little funny. What you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to make your template. And I chose to fold my paper in half just so I would have the same on both sides. Again, I would suggest making the points and the angles of the tops of like the top of the heart. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. The top of the heart a lot less drastic, a lot more soft, a lot like less rounded, because those are a pain in the butt to sew. And I should have known that, but I kind of ignored it and just went with it anyway. After you get done making your template, you're going to want to lay out your fabric. I chose to just leave it folded over, so I would have two identical patterns on either side. If you want to cut them separately, you can. Sometimes that makes more sense, and I should have ironed mine before I did, but I didn't. You can use polar fleece for this project, but I would suggest using felt because you cannot iron on polar fleece. It will melt, and therefore you will not be able to use it, and it will stick to your iron. This is not a no-sew project, so you do have to have access to a sewing machine. You probably could use hot glue for flannel, but not for polar fleece. Cannot. It would melt because it gets hot. After you have all four cut out, so the front and back for each of your pillows, you're going to want to use a sewing machine. I don't have any footage of me sewing it because I thought I had turned my camera on, and I didn't. But I just used my sewing machine to go around all the corners and around the whole edge. You want to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance so it looks even though mine looks a little funny. I mean, they just look really funny. That's kind of the point. I did it like a mended heart instead of the conversation hearts because then they can be a little bit funny because they're supposed to not look perfect. After you're done sewing, you're going to want to leave about a 5-inch hole so you can reverse the fabric. So you pull all of the fabric from the inside outside so you have a nice pillow shape. You also want to leave this hole for when you have stuffing. I used a polyfill stuffing. You can buy it wherever you buy fabric. I didn't have any footage of me doing that because I had to go buy the stuff and my camera was charging because my battery is stupid. I feel like I'm making really a lot of mistakes on this one because this one was not a good example of what I really wanted it to be. When you put on the letters, you need to make sure that you follow the directions on the package. Mine said that you need to line them up where they go on your fabric, wherever you want it, and press them for 12 to 15 seconds on top of the press-on letters, and then flip it over and press for another 10 seconds. And before you remove anything, it needs to be completely cool. Now, when I removed my letters, I did have some issues because they were very sticky. Like, they stuck to the fabric really well, but I still had some issues with it, and I had to repress the letters after I got all of the extra off. It came out really good. I liked the letters. I think they look fun. That was the one part I was really, really, really happy about. You can't do any of the stuffing until after you are finished putting your letters on, because you can't very easily go over, and I'm hearing my dogs like screaming upstairs. It's really weird, and I'm trying to ignore it, but it's just not working. But you want to fill them after you put your letters on, because otherwise they wouldn't go on properly. After you have that done, I used embroidery floss. You could use regular thread, but I wanted mine to be very obvious, again, because I kind of wanted that more not so perfect look. And you're going to want to stitch up the side that you had the hole on to put all of your stuffing in. I took my embroidery floss in half because embroidery floss, oh my gosh, I can't speak. Embroidery floss is 6 strands, so I used 3 strands and double it over. And I did kind of a messy stitch, which wasn't a huge deal. It was actually kind of fun. I considered putting like safety pins and stuff in it to make it like really funny and like very punk, even though they're super pastel. But I decided not to. And there you have it. I had to make lemonade out of lemons per usual when I make a DIY project, but I was really happy with how they turned out, even though they're a little bit on the not so cute side. I hope to do something kind of similar but very different next time I do these, if I do them again, because I liked the idea. I'd like to make them bigger. I'd like to make them more rounded than they are, because they are a little bit drastic. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the outro.
So I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial. It was terrible, and I've kind of decided, I feel like I'm saying I'm making lemonade out of lemons quite frequently when I make DIY videos, so I'm just kind of wondering if I need to stop. Maybe this isn't the arena for me. Not one of my specialties, though one of my specialties, and I did tweet about this last night, and I did it again this morning, was leaving tea out until I had to heat it up again, and I did that with coffee this morning, so now I have like my coffee, it sat in my Keurig for like an hour and a half, and now it's sitting in my microwave waiting just to be heated up. It's been one of those months. Maybe if I lean a little bit closer, that'd be better. But I think they're really cute, and I ended up going with like a more mended heart theme, which is why I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna do the embroidery stitching like this, so it looks terrible. It looks terrible, and it's okay, because they're mended hearts. Because, you know, not all hearts are perfect, and after you have your heart broken, it's not all that perfect. And that's okay. But I really liked these. These were a pain in the butt to get off, specifically because this flannel is a little bit clingy. It's a lot clingier than regular fabric. So I had to press these again, and I honestly feel like these are coming off. I really hope they're not, because this is really cute. Like, it's really, really cute. I would have made these a little bit less drastic, because it's a little much. It's a little much, but it's okay. The pink one kind of turned out like this. It looks almost like a speech bubble, which I don't mind. Like, I think they're really cute. I like how the lettering turned out on this one a little bit more, except there's like a big space here. Like, I'm not very good at DIY. Like, this was never meant to be a DIY channel. I watch other people DIY, and I'm like, man, that looks amazing. And then there's me going, huh? But I really like how they turned out. They're going to sit on my bed behind me, probably. I don't quite know where. I love these. These are so cute. And I feel like this is going to be my thumbnail. Just me, like, looking over the corner of it like a creep. I'll have to redo that part, but that's okay. Like, they'll sit behind me on my bed somewhere for the next few weeks. Like, it'll look really cute. Like, look. Just, there. Yes, that's a porg from Star Wars. Because they're cute. And yes, I'm wearing sweatpants. Because I didn't feel like getting dressed this morning. I feel like that's the life of people who make videos, is like, alright, cool, I look nice on top because that's all you're going to see of me, and then the rest of it is just like sweatpants. But I think that that is it for me today. I'm actually going to put this one over here. There. So now they match. See? Now they match. But I really enjoyed making them, even though they didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted them to, but that's okay. But I will see you guys next week with another video. Hopefully it'll be a lot better than the one this week was, just because I feel like I've been so out of place, out of sorts, all that, for the last few weeks that it's just been kind of crazy. So I'm chalking January up to being a little crazy. You can follow me on social media. You can comment on this video. You can subscribe to my channel to see more MJ fails. But other than that, I will see you guys next week. Bye!